to introduce you to what's going on, and then we're going to start a series on Prepper's Paradise, Alberta, because I'm changing the name of it from Prepper's Paradise, Canada to Prepper's Paradise, Alberta. And I don't have my eye patch on, so you'll see my eye closed quite a bit. But a friend of mine, Mike Dorian, thank you. Go to livingsoil.ca and check out Mike's stuff, what he does. He's a permaculture teacher and permaculture scientist and doing a lot of good stuff. He's out of Calgary. We've been on the phone for a couple of years, and now we finally met this fall. And he's into what we're doing here, and it's awesome. And he's lent me this microscope, and it has a camera, so we're able to use the computer to see what's going on. And so what we have here is I went and got water out of our well, and so I'm starting with water, and this is our well water, and we're seeing what's in it. And so here we have what's called bright field, is when you have the light from below, and you can change the intensity of the light. And then we have our adjustments here for the focus. And we also found today, because I'm playing with the program to learn the software for this camera, and so we found this little gem. So for taking pictures and doing recordings, we can make this bigger or smaller, see? So that's really cool. And there's other settings we can do on here, and I'm just learning. I haven't used a microscope since 1982 in high school. So yeah, so we're playing with it and moving around and looking to see what we can find in the water and then identify. So here we go. Now that is at 10 times magnification, so we're going to go to 40 and try and zoom in on the same thing. Okay. There's exactly what we were just looking at. Here we go. And now we can zoom in and see what we got. And the purpose of this is that I need to know in our water. So here's Mike's book, Matt Power's book, Regenerative Soil Microscopy. And I read that a couple of years ago when I first got it, and I read it again after the accident. I'm going to read it again, but the book goes through everything that you can find is in the soil and water. And so we're using our water as a base for all of our samples, and therefore I need to identify what's in our water before I start adding soil and pieces of plants and things to it, so that I'm not getting confused thinking that something in our water is something in our soil that I should be looking at. So as I learn to use the microscope in the program, that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing in, and then I'm going to look at things. So now, another thing that Matt does, which is an experiment right now. Have we got people watching? Oh, we're live, right? Yep. Okay. Anyway, Matt discovered a few years ago. So this is what's called bright field, and it's when you're looking from the light is coming from below. So what Matt started to do was turn down the bright field, or even turn it right off, and then use light from the side and start trying to find ways to see in a different spectrum and look at it differently. And so that's what I'm doing, is looking at it with different light coming from the side. And what Mike discovered is that you oh, hang on.
Hi, Carly.
Oh, hi, Carly Simon?
Yeah.
Cool. what Mike discovered, or Matt, I'm sorry, what Matt discovered, is that when you have light from the side, you get a different view of what's going on. And you can see details that you don't see otherwise in colors and movement, because when you have the light from below, what you're looking at is actually shadowed. It's silhouetted. Whereas this way, you now have light, as you can see, as I change where the light comes from, you get different angles. And so I'm going to play with different lights and try this and see what we're looking at. And zoom in on different things. And as you zoom in, okay, different things become clear, visible.
Yeah. Sweet Carly. Thank you.
So yeah.
Look at that.
So
hang on.
This is going to be a little time consuming for me, but I have to do it. I have to look at all these things and see what they are and try and figure out what is in our water and identify all the little beings and everything. So I'm going to take this light away now and turn on the bright field again. Look at that exact image again.
Carly, are you sure you want to do this?
Yes, I do. Yeah. In order for me to prove what my products are doing, the Ferdy Charger liquid and the charcoals, in order for me to be able to prove what's in them and what they're doing and how they're helping the soil, etc., helping plants grow, I need this kind of information. And in order to find problems when we have diseases and pathogens and things going on in the soil and plants and that, being able to identify that way and know what we're dealing with and then react accordingly. So that's why this is so important. And so this is what we're doing. And again, I'm just learning as we go. Okay. And again, is that the highest setting? No, that's not the highest setting. Okay, let's find some of that color again. And I'll turn this to there. And now we turn to the highest setting. Highest magnification. And I have to bring this down so that the lens doesn't touch. There we go. And now zoom in. And
Carly says, okay, say hi to the men in black for me.
yes.
LOL.
Okay. So I'm not liking the highest setting right now, so we'll get away from it because I'm not liking how close the specimen is getting to the lens.
Right.
Okay, so let's just so we've lost our view, what we're viewing. Oh, okay. Okay. So whatever I was seeing there is no longer in view, so now I have to
Switch
go
it back.
Go back down to not the lowest setting, but close enough. And I have to start exploring again. And see if I can find something to look at. Okay. There we go.
There's that black dot again.
There's that little black dot again. That looks exactly like a heart.
Yeah, with the rounded point side.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, it's a broken heart.
It's a broken heart. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the reason for the viewing square now is I can get that as close to center as I can. So now when I go up to a higher magnification, we should be looking at it.
That proves the
Oh,
flat
hang
Earth.
on.
Oh,
And this
God.
is, hang on. There it is. There it is.
There it is. There's your flat Earth, Juicy D to 395. Welcome.
Okay. So there we go. As we zoom in on it, we get a different look.
It's still a heart.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's turning.
okay. So now I am going to shut off the bright field and turn on
The
side lighting, and there we go. We get a different look at it. We can see different things going on.
Oh, look, it's a heart Mars now. Hey, Daryl, how you doing? Water critters? Yep, pretty much. We don't know what this critter is.
Matt's book and some other sources and figure out what this is. And yeah, there we go. Now something I haven't tried yet. But I'm going to try it right now. Just taking a snapshot. There we go. There's the first picture that I've taken with my program.
Awesome.
So, oh, that's the photo. See?
Yeah.
I'm changing everything and yeah, so that is the photo.
Good.
Okay, so now we go back to here. And this is live, I think. No? Yeah, it is. Okay. So now
Oh, yes, KN. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I caught Robert's channel about 4 days ago, something like that. I listened in. I didn't comment, but
who?
you know, Robert, Z-Man News.
No, sorry. Don't know.
News with Z-Man, sorry.
Oh,
Robert,
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so there's something else.
Thanks, KN.
Okay, so yeah. Like I said, now I just have to play around with all these settings. And there we go. Look at that. Look at that. That is cool stuff. So let me just see if I can move this guy here.
Get it clearer, maybe?
Yeah, I'm just going to get him centered. Look at those little guys
there.
show up.
Yeah,
Wow, this is cool.
that is cool.
So like I said, now it's just a case of being able to figure out what these are. Now,
Right.
what I'll do now, I'm going to leave that the way it is. And I'm going to go back to the bright field and look at it silhouetted. Oh, cool. Okay. So like I said, I have to figure out what these are. It could be dust. It could be particulates in the water. It could be minerals. It could be living beings. I don't know. But I have to figure it out. And so that's what we're doing. So I've got the laptop here. And I'm not hooked to the internet right now. But I'm going to hook to the internet. And then I can start going to Matt's programs and other people's. There's a bunch of really good stuff that I found on YouTube about all this. And so now it's just a case of learning it. And my thinking is that we can't do anything in the gardens, really. We've got stuff growing in the house, but there's nothing we can do outside till spring. And I'm making the products over the winter, but see, now I can test the product. Now I can bring a sample of my product in, my liquids, put it on a slide, and look at it.
Yeah.
Same with the charcoal. I can take a razor and I can take slices off my charcoal and look at them in the microscope and see what they are. So now I'm going to try both fields of light. Let's see what happens. Ooh, that's cool. I want that guy up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning. Okay, that is that way. It's very sensitive.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Just a second. There. Look at him. Okay, now.
Kind of pixely, but
Well, yeah, you, there. So that's with both fields of light.
okay. Take the light away again. Let me see.
So that is just with dark field, looking from underneath.
Okay.
And here is both fields of light. And now I'll turn off the dark field, and we have the, just look at that. You see, with different light coming in from different angles. This is what Matt Powers discovered a few years ago. Is by using different spectrums of light, different types of light, and different angles, you see different things. Different things fluoresce at different frequencies of light. So something I haven't tried yet. So I'm going to shut this guy off, and I'm going to try this guy and see what he does.
Remember this light, people?
Yeah, this is for your standard light that you get for doing selfies and all that. Okay. The cool thing about this light, okay, is that this light is adjustable.
Yeah, you get those
See?
different colors.
I get a different frequency.
That's like a, it doesn't show on the screen, but it's kind of like a cream yellow.
Yeah.
A dim white light, right? Ooh, that's a blue light.
Okay.
Yellow.
And I get different intensities. And see the different things around it now with the different intensities are showing up.
Right.
So I can play with, like I said, I'll shut this off now. I can play with different light. The other thing I can do, I can bring in a red light, a blue light, a green light. I can bring in laser pointers and see what they do. And I can diffuse those as well. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. We are seeing what's going on. And like I said, I'm going to study our water. The next test, once I've had a chance to look around and use a few different samples on a few different samples, glass, and study this water and know what it looks like and what's in it. Then I'm going to test the water from the house because it goes through it's the same well water, but it goes through a water softener. And I'm thinking that the salt and everything like that is going to change how the water looks. And some of these living beings and different things, of course, salt's going to kill some of them.
Dirty sausage.
Dirty sausage is here. And that's what it's designed to do, and clean up the water, make it softer, etc. And I think that also probably what it's going to do is different things are going to fluoresce differently, and we'll be able to see the reactions. So, okay, so let's do that, and snapshot. And there we go. There's the second snapshot. Oh, it does the whole page. I don't have to move that thing around.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool, right?
And then back to just normal. This should just be normal. Let me see here. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, very interesting. And the other thing I learned, this is what I've been watching and studying all these videos and going to people's websites. There's microscope companies out there saying they can have 1600 times zoom and 2000 times zoom. In reality, no, 1000 times zoom is your maximum. And even at that, there's a lot of times it doesn't help you. You're not seeing anything. What they're finding, so we have here a 10 power, which is 100 times, 40 power, which is 400 times, and a 100 power, which is 1000 times. And then this little guy here is 4, so that's 40 times zoom. Now, what they're finding out is you can change these out, of course, and you can get a 60 and a 65. So it's 600 and 650 times zoom. And that's what, from what I can see, a lot of these people that are studying soil and microbes in soils and stuff, this seems to be where they're having the most success. I'm not going to spend money. I'm going to work with what we've got, with what Mike Dorian has graciously lent me, and with what we have here available, and learn. And be able to take pictures and have these records. And then down the road, when we can meet up with some people that know what they're looking for, then we can move ahead in our knowledge from there. And so this is going to be a winter project for me to learn this. Because again, down the road, once I have lab tests on my products and on the charcoal and then the liquid, and I have lab tests on the fruit and vegetables we're going to be growing with it. Then we'll know how much, our stuff is improving, which we already know it works. We just need the scientific evidence now. But by having this little setup here, I'm going to be able to have scientific evidence about our products as well, and have a record of it, and go from there. And then as I learn more, which again I have to save up the money somehow, and it'll be when we start getting sales in the spring, is when they start selling our product in the spring. Then I'll be able to afford Matt's actual course on my microscopy. And then really learn the actual little details and the little names of all the little creatures and the fungi and different things like this. But until then, I'm going to learn as much as I can on my own, and learn as much about our water, our soil, and our products over this winter as I can, and go from there. So that's what we're doing. So I guess there's probably lots of questions in chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Carly Simon, what you gonna do if you don't like what's in it and you can't filter it out?
Well, the whole idea is being able to make those corrections. So if I let's say that let's say there's a bacteria in the soil that's not a beneficial bacteria, then I need to introduce a different fungi to eat it, or a different microbe or protozoa to eat it, or different micronutrients, so that those the fungi that's there now, or the microbes that are there now, can then deal with it. Because again, how this works, from what I've learned, and now with my head injury, I have to relearn all of this. But as let's say a plant is got a disease, or it's suffering and it needs copper, and so these pathogens move in, or these predator beings move in, because that plant is weak. So you can introduce copper into your soil, or you can introduce other micronutrients or other fungi, etc., that will then take the copper that's in the soil, because the plant can't get it on its own. So then they can then take that copper and change it chemically, take it to the plant, and now the plant can fight the pest or the pathogen, etc. So this is why it's important to learn all this, and to be able to recognize it, and go on from there. And the biggest thing about this is that all of these forever chemicals, like Roundup, let's just use that one, glyphosate, moxitectin, there's a few others, and it's all these fertilizers, etc., and pesticides and fungicides and herbicides that they've been using in agriculture for decades now, near like a century, really, honestly, 100 years, a lot of these things. And the soil is not, there's not enough microbes in the soil, and in some places there's none because they've all died. And we have to get those chemicals out of the soil. And the only way to do that I have found so far is you have to grow a crop that you're willing to kill. And what people are finding is that wheat and oats and some winter rye. Winter wheat is really good. It's a really good one. But you need organic heritage heirloom crops. You can't use, you can use some hybrids, but you can't use the GMO crops. You have to use the organic heirloom wheat or rye or oats. You grow that, the roots go down in the soil, the roots suck up all these forever chemicals and take them up to the plant, and then you cut down the plant and burn it. You can't compost this stuff out. They have done tests where, a normal compost, a lot of people don't like to get it over 150 degrees Fahrenheit inside your compost pile to have a good hot compost. They've got some of these compost piles up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, like almost catching fire. And it still does not get rid of the forever chemicals. And the only way to do it, and this is what I did when I first moved into Prepper's Paradise at Breton, where we were, is I mowed the grass, I put it in piles, I turned it and I dried it, and then I burned it. And I burned it away from where I was growing it and planting it. I had dug a pond, and that hole was intended to be a garbage hole at first. It wasn't meant to be a pond. There was a lot of garbage around that place that I had to dispose of and everything else. So I dug a hole, and that's where I would burn that grass and just get rid of it. And then I covered that one up, and then I went from there. But this is what we have to do, and I have to be able to recognize these chemicals, not just with a soil test, because a soil test will tell me, but I have to recognize with this kind of technology and know what's there, and keep testing. As, like I said, we're gonna have to clean up the pasture where the horses are now, and grow what I call a slaughter crop, because I'm gonna kill the crop and slaughter it and burn it. But I'm gonna have to do that a couple times to get those chemicals out. It took a full season, 2 full cuts in some of the taller areas at Breton before I was, because what I was doing is I was making a little compost and everything, and I was taking some of the soil and then growing plants in it. And it took 2 full rounds of growing a nice tall grass and then cutting it and burning it before a lot of vegetables stopped curling and going bad. So that's what I expect here on this one too, is that it's going to take some time, but it's what we have to do. And also too is what this will do is it'll improve the sales for my products, because once I can scientifically prove what my products are doing, they will be more accepted in the permaculture world and the regenerative farming world. Because folks in that world are very wary about what's coming in and what's going out, because of all these herbicides and pesticides and fertilizers and things that have been in our soil for a very, very long time now. So this is all really important for that. So hope that answers it, Carly. Anybody else?
And Michael DePaul, and
Okay.
David DeGeorge is here.
Yeah. Hello, folks.
Michael DePaul says, "Howdy, Cage. Glad you got your eye patch off."
Yeah, I've got my eye closed. The eye patch was causing my eye to tear up a lot, and I didn't want something to happen, like a pink eye or anything like that. So I only wear the patch like if I go to town now to go shopping or whatever. I'll put the patch on. But I don't like to wear it for more than a couple hours because I'm finding it does help, but at the same time it only helps for so long.
Timothy Loomis, 1953, says, "Good to see you." Good to see you too, Timothy.
Hello.
And yes, especially Roundup needs to go. Doesn't it kill bees? I think it does.
Well, they all do.
They all get affected, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
And see, the other thing too is the way the crops pollinate now. There's crops out there now, GMO crops that they purposely don't want. They're self-pollinating. They have genetically modified these crops so that they no longer need bees and hummingbirds and the different flies and wasps. And so yeah, that's a problem. Another experiment that I did, that Stella and I did, is we made compost, made a huge pile of compost at the last place, and we found out the farmer had told me, yeah, no, I don't use any sprays or blah, blah, blah. And then I got talking to him a couple months later, and the hay he was bringing in for his animals and the straw was all GMO.
Yeah.
And full of these chemicals. Because we were having problems with stuff curling. So that's what we did, is we made a big pile of compost and we let stuff grow in it, whether it be weeds or plants or whatever. And then we got rid of that. That's another way to do it is, yeah, you make the big pile of compost, you put a slaughter crop in it, and get rid of it. And if weeds are going to grow, then let them, and saves you using seeds that are valuable.
Yeah.
And go from there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it, folks. I'm going to cut it off here. And from now on, for the first little while, what I'm going to do is I'll do a short on YouTube on Rage in a Cage. Let everybody know. And then I'll be doing these experiments on Prepper's Paradise. And all the links will be in the chat and all that. So when I'm done here, I'll edit this live stream and I'll put some links in the chat. Okay, there we go.
Good to see you all.
Thank you all, folks. Thank you very much.
See you in the next one.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.